Let me show you how you can insert and format your footnotes if you're using the Chicago Manual of Style. Now, as you can see, I have a couple of footnotes here already. Normally they're added at the end of a sentence, but sometimes you may want to insert one at the end of a clause, and we can do that over here. This is if our footnote pertains to only this part of the sentence. So I'm going to insert a footnote here. I'm going to go to References and Insert Footnote, and you can see that we can now add our citation. Notice that I added the footnote before the dash, but with pretty much any other kind of punctuation mark, you want to put the punctuation mark before the footnote and then place the footnote there, the footnote number. So that's a little bit different, but the dash is a bit unusual. The next thing we want to do is format our footnotes. I'm just going to delete number 3 here. There we go. We're going to format our footnotes. What we want to do is highlight all of them. So if we only have a couple, you can just kind of manually highlight them. But if you have lots, you want to place your cursor here and press Ctrl A. That's going to highlight all your footnotes. And then you want to go to Font. So I'm going to go to Home. Times New Roman is a very common kind of font. There are some other options as well, but that's pretty standard. And then either size 10 or size 12. Now, the Chicago Manual of Style tends to recommend 12, but there's also the Turabian guide, which is more for students, and it tends to go more with 10. I would suggest that you talk to your instructor and see what they prefer. I'm just going to stick to 10 for the moment, but there are definitely different options available. Okay, so we've got that part figured out. Next, we need to add some indentation. I'm going to go to Paragraph, and I'm going to pick first line. So we're going to indent the first line of every single entry, and then we want to add an extra space between our entries. So we go to line number and add space after paragraph. This is a very common way to format your footnotes. Again, there are some differences between Chicago and Turabian and your instructor's preferences. I'm recommending this approach, but just make sure that you check to see what your instructor is looking for. Now, the last thing is the trickiest thing, and this is the fact that we have superscript numbers here, but the Chicago Manual of Style actually likes regular numbers followed by a period. That's trickier to do in Word, and so if you're going to go this route, which you may not need to, because even the Chicago Manual of Style says that in manuscript form, superscript is totally fine. So if you think of your essay for an instructor as manuscript or draft or something like that, maybe superscript is okay. And in any case, your instructor may prefer superscript. But if you do want those other numbers, there is a way to do this. You need to place your cursor anywhere in your footnotes, basically, and only do this just before you print off your essay and you submit it. It's the very last thing you want to do. So place your cursor here, and we're going to do a search and replace. So I'm going to press Ctrl H. Okay, brings up the replace option. We're going to click on more just to provide a few more options here. And then we start with the Find What box. There we start with a caret, which is Shift 6. Okay, and then we want to add O2. And don't ask me exactly why this works. You just have to follow the rules here. We're going to go to the Replace With box. We're going to add another caret, followed by an ampersand, which is Shift 7. And then we're going to put a period here. Now, while your cursor is still in the Replace With box, this is very important, we're going to go to Format, to Font, and we're going to just get rid of the superscript and subscript options. There we go. And you can see that this formatting detail has been added to our Replace With box. And now we need to press Replace All. And as you can see, all our footnotes have been updated. Okay, things have kind of moved around a bit with the text. But you can see that all our footnotes are now in this different format. So that is how you can insert and format your footnotes following the rules in the Chicago Manual of Style.